Hey everyone, I'm Jack.
I'm Jo, and this is Frank.
And this is our home, our converted Mercedes Sprinter van, 2016 long wheelbase model. We are currently travelling around Europe, and we have been for the past 2 months, but previously we were living and working from our van. So yeah, let's show you around, but first you need to see the view from our front garden today. It's pretty spectacular. We're on the Portuguese coast, and this is 100% the main reason why we wanted to move and live in a van.
So we got a lot of questions as to why we decided to live in a van from a lot of different people, and the answer is just because we were living in London, it was really busy, polluted, and we just decided that actually we want to spend a lot more time in nature, and this seemed to be the best way for us to do that. I mean, we watched loads of YouTube videos of people having the time of their lives, and we thought, well, we'll give it a go.
The two critical things that you need in a van. Firstly, diesel heater, which has been an absolute godsend in cold, damp, horrible English weather. Just to turn that on, that will heat the cab, that will heat the whole van up in kind of 10-15 minutes. And we have a controller that we can use from bed, so we'll wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, whack that on, go back to sleep, wake up at 7:30 to a really warm and toasty van. And something that is equally as important, and anyone else that lives in a van has to agree with me here, is a shoe rack. Because I can't tell you how annoying not having a shoe rack for about a year of our life living in the van was. This might sound, ambitious, but I think it saved our marriage. Because I was leaving my shoes everywhere, and now that we have somewhere to put all of our shoes, and we've got we haven't got too many. We've probably got about like 3 or 4 pairs each. It's just nice to have somewhere that's tucked away, that doesn't look horrible, because you can pull our curtain, which has like a thermal blind in front of that, prop it up on top of the diesel heater. It just keeps everything separate, stops like mud coming in from the outside, and it has actually genuinely been super useful.
Welcome to our conservatory. We've got a range of plants that we are actually not killing yet in the van, which is quite impressive, I think, actually. We've got this lovely spider plant here that is thriving. So we have 2 150-watt solar panels on the roof, and they then feed into 4 AGM batteries, which feeds into our inverter, which means that we've got loads of energy whenever we're off grid. We can plug in the van as well at a campsite or in a house, but yeah, it's been really good for us so we can work off grid and kind of travel around as we work. So in order to set up the office, we have 2 desks, 2 Lagoon table mount desks, I think that's what they're called. And it's really simple. You basically just kind of pop one onto these mounts here on the wall, whack that on there, whack the table on, and jobs are good, and you can sit down and do your work with a nice view. And we've got this desk here, but they've also got another mount here which you can do that on, and our seat swivels around at the front as well, so you can sit there and have someone sit here and pretend like you're not in the same space. So we tried to make the van as homely as possible when we moved in, and that for us was putting bits of artwork up and putting some lights up and making it really cosy.
And plants.
And plants as well. So we've got a few bits dotted around the van. This was painted by a family member. And we've got a bit up here which we actually got when we used to live in London by an artist called Mia Skyhawk.
She actually lives in a van as well.
Yeah, I actually think she's been on this channel as well, so you should look her up.
So let me run you through the shower and bathroom area that I call the shoilet.
Never called it the shoilet.
We're going to call it the shoilet now. It'll catch on, trust me. So actually it was very key, as mentioned, we worked in this van for a year in the UK, and we're also studying at the moment. It's just very key that we have a separate area whilst one of us is working and the other person's on the loo, because I couldn't think of anything worse than being on an hour-long conference call and kind of like locking eyes with Jo while she's sitting on the toilet. So we kept it separate. And actually also we do quite a lot of exercise recently. We like to keep fit. Last year I ran a few marathons, and having a shower that we could get into, during winter, we didn't have to do an outside shower, has actually been amazing, especially when we've been surfing as well in Portugal. that makes us sound like we're surf dudes. We've been
not.
surfing twice, 3
Yeah.
times in Portugal, but it has been really nice to get out the cold water, rinse off our wetsuits, and just have a really quick shower. That shower is fed by a 70-litre tank, which is underneath the bed, and I'll show you kind of the garage area after. It's a massive tip, but I hope I'll be able to show you everything underneath there. But yeah, 70 litres underneath there, which feeds the shower separately. That underneath the sink's 25 litres. That's literally just used for cooking and washing dishes. So it's nice to, you know, keep these things separate. Let me show you. It's quite small, but it does its job. We actually built this toilet ourselves. It's a compost slash separator toilet, basically made out of, I can't remember the name of the wood, but it's waterproof. It's got a waterproof lining on. So it's good to still shower on. We still put shower curtain kind of in front of this, which I'll show you in a second. But that's actually been super useful. We used to have a chemical toilet, which was great and everything, but it did smell quite a bit. It used like nasty chemicals, which we weren't the biggest fans of. And when you're in England, they're actually it's harder to empty because you have to go to a campsite and use the facilities there, and you end up spending a bit of money.
In Europe though.
It's
been very easy.
It's been very easy, and we probably might have kept the chemical toilet, maybe.
Maybe.
Although this is better, and it's a much better toilet experience.
Yeah.
I won't show you it,
No.
but imagine a compost toilet, and that's one. We've also got a food waste kind of like micro composter there, which we try and basically put all of our food scraps into it, and then we use an app to find someone to take our food waste, because we're big kind of like environmental nerds and like to try and do our bit. Our dirty washing's here. I don't know why I'm showing you that, but the dirty washing's there. This
Don't look at that. That is a mess.
A bit of a mess, and we are going to sort it out at some point. So yeah, this is with the shower set up. We just have a shower curtain that goes across the toilet, so it doesn't go down into like the toilet bit. It is sealed off, but sometimes like water can get around the back. The shower's been built with plastic all around it, so it's essentially a big wet room, and the drain just takes it out into a grey water system. We've actually got 2 really handy shower head hooks, one there and then one further down, because then we can also shower Frank. And essentially you just switch on the button. It's fed through by the gas heater, water heater that's just in here, and that's fed by an LPG system which is in there. And yeah, you just literally whack it on here, and we usually get a week's worth of showers out. Oh, we've got no water.
Yeah, there's no water.
There's no water, but we usually get about a week's worth of shower out of this. Imagine water coming out of there, and it's a good shower.
So we chose to have the sofa opposite the door for obvious reasons, because you can sit down and you've got views like this. And we absolutely love the fact that we could have a cup of tea in the morning and sit and just watch the view. And also it's great for ventilation, and Frank can obviously play with the view as well. Yeah, no, it's a really lovely spot. I really like it.
Yeah, I think it's just if you put it anywhere else, I just think if you're going to have a sofa, put it there, because you know that's the view and that's what you want to see.
Yes, moving swiftly on to the kitchen. I didn't have to go very far. So again, we decided to put the hobs right by the window, just because then if you're cooking, like, I don't know, pasta or something with loads of condensation or steam, go straight out the door, which is really handy. So we've got a dual hob burner, is that what they're called? Burner stove?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a separate duplex oven as well. Don't look at how dirty that is, but it does the job. I mean, we cook everything. We cooked a Christmas dinner in here at Christmas, and yeah, we use it pretty much every meal. We really enjoy it. It's really good. I would definitely recommend, if that's something you have space for in your van, if you're going to get one, do that. And moving over, well, we've got some cupboard space down here as well, just quickly. Yeah, we've had to add in a couple of little bits here because unfortunately the door sometimes flies open when we drive, but that happens if you live in a van. Just be ready for that, because your stuff is probably going to fly out of a cupboard at some point. So make sure you get some cups that are, like, not going to break.
Yeah.
The hard way.
Stoneware, not good.
Yeah, not
Bamboo and enamel, much better.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that. And then moving on to
Tea making station.
Oh, yeah, obviously very important. And obviously, do you even live in a van if you don't have an array of spices that you probably don't use? So So this is like the lounge area, and then we've also got the kitchen, the entrance as well, multi-purpose area. We've got loads of storage up here, which is really great. So in this cupboard we keep all of the long life bits. It's a bit of a stuff zone, but we've got lots of bits in there like jars and dog food and that kind of stuff. And then above the sofa here we've got lots of storage for our clothes, which is really handy. They are also quite stuffed in there.
We both have a cupboard each.
Yeah, we do, which is great. And ever since we moved into the van, actually, we've managed to completely downsize on what we have really. So that's pretty much all of Jack's clothes, and pretty much all of mine just about fit in here as well. So
yeah.
Let's just.
We have just been and done laundry though, so that's why
Yeah.
we've got so many clothes.
Yeah.
We're full to the brim.
Full to the brim, that's it. And obviously, you've got the storage under the sofa as well, which again is pretty stuffed full of things. A variety of different. I don't even know what's in there. There are lots of different bits, and Jack's got some.
I think that's like your warm clothing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like the winter clothes, which we don't need at the moment, but.
And then in here is where I keep electronics.
Basically, it's just a drawer full of chargers.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
And the main part of the lounge, which people will often comment on and they really like, is Frank's little home. So let's show you around there. Well, he doesn't live in there full time. Like he's allowed out, but like this is his bedroom where he sleeps. And yeah, it was a pull-out drawer, but Jack got what was it? A saw? What kind of saw is it?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, some sort of saw. Basically hacked away at this cupboard. Made a little hole for Frank, and then we kind of squared it off with this nice wood. Yeah, let's just quickly show you inside. So he's got his little bed in there, and it's a nice big space. It kind of really extends around the side, so lots of room for him to have a nice cosy night's sleep.
Yeah, and actually what's kind of cool about this, Frank, if you come over here. Frank. Good boy. Actually we don't use too often, but this actually also lifts up. So when he was a puppy, we could crate train him in there and we could clean out his area. So yeah, that's a great idea. My domain is the plumbing domain and all the toilet stuff. You'll soon learn that if you live in a van, there is you take on different jobs. Joe is in charge of sweeping the floor and general cleanliness, and I do the real dirty jobs that she doesn't want to do.
Yeah, like emptying the wee.
But let's run you through the sink and our grey water system. This is actually this is something that we did in the end. So about 3 months ago we decided that we were going to change up the grey water system and put an underslung tank, because originally we have like two 25 litre tanks underneath here, as you can see. So we used to have one that was exactly like this for the grey water. So if the grey water got filled up, you picked it and you poured it away. That was really useful for England, because I think it was but now we're in Europe and we're going to Ayers all the time. You literally drive up to one, they've got drains on the floor, and you open the tap, which is what we've got now. But previous to then, the system that we had was like you take it out and you could take it into, it was just, it worked, but it was really annoying. So about 3 months ago I fit an underslung grey water tank, which has meant that we've now been able to accommodate I can't remember what this is called.
Lifesaver.
A lifesaver jerry can, which means that we can basically drink from random water sources. We haven't had to use it in Spain and Portugal, but as we go to different countries, we hope that it'll be really useful. Like apparently you can put it into a muddy puddle and pour it out and it'll turn it into drinkable water.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to do that.
Let's not recommend that to people though.
Okay, don't do that. But if you can do it, you should do it.
No,
don't do it. Don't. But it's on their advertising.
it.
Anyway, just do what you think's best.
Yeah.
And if I do it in the muddy puddle, I'll let you know how I get on. This is also where our recycling system is. You don't need to see that.
No.
But yeah. And then this is the sink. So that's the 12-volt pump that comes on. This guy's great. Really, it washes up. I'm going to conserve the water though, because it's very important to conserve water. What should we show you next? More cupboard space. This is additional cupboard space for cooking, so all of our jars, bread, fruit and pasta, etc. are just in here. These are all gas struts, so it can hold itself up, and it's super useful whilst we drive, because they do in most cases not pop open unless we go down some really rough roads, and then everything pops open, but it doesn't happen all the time. So we've also got, so next to the water system, we've got a 70 litre Dometic fridge, which is pretty well stocked. So we've just been to the supermarket. It fits in a weekly shop, which we were pretty happy about, because as I mentioned, when we were moving out of our flat, we kind of wanted to condense everything into a van, but still kind of keep the home comforts that we're used to. A lot of the stuff that we have just makes our life easier, and definitely a bigger fridge really helps. It also has a freezer compartment, which we're really looking forward to using in Europe, because we'll have more sunlight and more warmth on our solar. In England, I think we got about 2 weeks of really good temperature, and it actually froze up. The rest of the time we just don't do it. But yeah, done these cupboards, as mentioned, they look great, fit everything in. We actually have a rather bougie bottle rack here, which is empty because we haven't been drinking recently, but it has got a nearly fully drunk bottle of whiskey, which we picked up in Scotland from our trip last year. And I don't think either of us want to drink any more of it again.
No, never again.
So if you ever see us and you want some whiskey, we'll give it to you.
Hop on over.
It's also good to put the bottles onto it. Underneath the fridge is just some extra storage where we actually just keep Frank's dog food.
And don't forget the bookcase.
Oh, and the bookcase where we keep our books. I actually really like this bookcase. I don't know why. It was just quite key. Like, this has got all of our travel books on. And yeah, it's really good for like storing cables and things. Don't know why Frank's barking, but here we are. Okay, so we've shown you the lounge, we've shown you the kitchen, we've shown you the toilet. Now let's show you the bedroom. So in case you haven't realised, I'm really tall. And actually part of the reason why we got a Sprinter van over any other van is because it can just about fit me. I do have to kind of adopt a bit of a van stand pose, and maybe I'll have, 40 years time really bad back problems, but for now it's been fine. But yeah, the curse of being a tall man is that, well, actually Joe, you're quite tall as well for a woman, is that we can't lie sideways. Sprinters are tall and narrow, so we were like, crap, can we actually stay in a van? Can we live in a van? And actually it's been fine standing up. In fact, if I stand underneath our fan, which we also use for ventilation, this is the sweet spot, you see. I can fully stand up here, so actually it's absolutely fine. But yeah, so we realised we have to sleep lengthways down the van, and Jack and Caro, who built our van, actually came up with a really smart idea, and we're really impressed by it. And it takes like 2 seconds to do it. This is a platform bed. We wanted a platform bed because we wanted the storage underneath the bed itself. And this is how it works. So we've got a slat here, which is just held on by another bit of wood here. Joe's very kindly abling and giving me these pillows, thanks very much. The pillows just come off the back of the sofa. You lift up this, you put on the sheet. And it's done, and that is the size of a double bed, same length, and I don't think we've ever slept better, to be honest. To the sound of the waves. But yeah, let me show you some more of the bedroom. We need a step to get up, and yeah, let me show you the bedroom. So I'm in the bedroom. If you want to come in. So as mentioned, underneath here we've got lots of storage. That's got like our bikes in, an inflatable kayak, and loads of other storage items. And we sleep up here. Nice little window here for ventilation. We actually sleep with this open. Even throughout winter, you can just pop it open like that because ventilation is key. We've got some more storage here. My pants and socks live in here. I won't show you that, but they're essentially the same as everyone's. They've all got like gas struts on. And I don't know what's in here, Joe.
Various swimming things.
Various swimming things are in here. And down the side here, we actually used to have some storage, which kind of pulled up, but we realised we actually had too much storage. So we've now got rid of that. And this is Frank's chill out zone. If we have him up here in winter, if he gets a bit cold, we'll just pop him here and he'll sleep next to us. Other quick things. So here is just a phone charger, 12 volt plug, which we can use to charge our phones. It's actually really cool having that there. There's like a phone charging area. Our gas boiler's in here. It's flumed up above on top of the van. And yeah, oh, I'm being blinded by an incredible sunset, so let me quickly show you this. So as mentioned, the boot or the garage of the van is a bit of a tip. We try and kind of keep everything orderly, but I think we've just got a bit too many stuff. So the next time we go back to England, we are just going to slim down some things. But there is quite a lot of important stuff in here. We've obviously got our 2 road bikes that we keep here. They're all mounted in here. We've got a skateboard, which Jo hasn't used since she injured her foot, but one day we will use that skateboard. We've got an inflatable kayak. I mean, we've got all of the stuff we need for a fun adventure. Also keep Frank's food up here. Our moonshade awning, which is actually really good. It's kind of like magnets go on the side, and it's really, really easy to put up. Our electrics and our hose is just there. So I'll see if I'll be able to get all of this stuff out by the time I send this video over. But for now, let me just carry on speaking about the boot. There we go. So this is kind of like where everything kind of powers our van almost. So we've got 70 litres of water which gets filled up there, where you can see the blue dots. And just behind there is our gas system. That is a fitted LPG system. We used to have kind of like a replaceable, what's the word I'm looking for?
Refillable?
Not refillable.
Yeah, we take one and then...
Returnable, yeah, like a returnable gas system in the UK with Calor, but when you're in Europe that's really, really hard. You have to change the regulators. So just before we hit the road here, we fitted a refillable LPG gas system, and that just gets filled by a tap at the side, which I'll show you. But yeah, you just plug that in at any petrol station that sells LPG, and it's been a proper lifesaver. Our battery bank is just behind all of this stuff here. There, I think Jo mentioned we've got 4 AGM batteries and our inverter, and that kind of powers all of our power system for the van, which comes from 2 150 watt solar panels on top. That's enough for, in summer we never really have to plug in. In winter we probably have to plug in and give the batteries a refresh, like maybe once a week if it's been cloudy. And if it's like really bad British weather, then we probably get day and a half, 2 days of working before we have to drive, and the inverter, sorry, the B2B system will charge the batteries, or we'll have to go to a campsite or nick some charge from a friend's house. But yeah, that is the very messy but very functional and fun boot. I think it was coronavirus lockdown. We were stuck inside this pokey little flat in London where you could hear like trains going in and out of the station every 20 minutes throughout the night. And yeah, we needed to get out, so sold our flat after I think we only lived in it for about a year. So yeah, we got onto the bricks and mortar ladder, we got onto the housing ladder, and we quickly jumped straight back off. And it's probably been the best decision I think we've ever made.
Yeah, I mean there are definitely merits of living in a house or a flat. Like we love, you know, we liked having a flat, and we liked, you know, having one stable base, but actually since we've been moving around in our van, we've really enjoyed the freedom that comes with being able to just kind of jump in the front and take your house with you, really, to wherever you want to go. So
yeah, and I think that's actually like a pretty good point in that if you actually really think about people, if you live in a flat, there's like if you had like a heat map of where you go, probably you don't use up as much space as you think. Like, you know, you obviously have a bathroom, a kitchen, a living room and a bedroom. That's essentially what we've got here, just in a really condensed form. We should clarify, we didn't do the base build of this. As I said, it was the COVID lockdowns, and we just needed to get the hell out of London. Our jobs became remote, and I think that we just wanted to get out, so sold our flat super quickly and put all that money, as well as the sale of our old camper van, which was like a little T4, towards this. We went with a guy called Jack at GV Conversions. We designed the whole van ourselves with him, so he lives in a van, so he told us, you know, this is what you want, blah blah blah. But we also had a lot of different ideas from watching YouTube videos about what we wanted our home to be, so we laid that out in kind of like a sketchbook, and then yeah, he built it over a course.
Not just Jack, Caro as well.
Oh, and yeah, his partner Caro as well. They built it over what, 7 weeks?
Yeah, they did it super quick, but it's such high spec, and we're so happy with it.
Yeah, and we've been living here for about 1.5 years now, so we've made a few tweaks to accompany, you know, well, to kind of like as we evolve in our van living journey, there's just been a few things that we've changed, including 2 weeks into living to a van, we decided to get a dog, so we had to make a few changes for him.
Thanks so much for joining us, having a nose around our home. We hope you enjoyed it.
As mentioned, throughout 2022 we'll be travelling around Europe in our home, sharing and documenting our adventures through our Instagram and YouTube profile. These are our journeys. Give that a follow, give us a message, and hopefully see some of you out there on the road in real life. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.